going on, Jerome's? So Week 6 NFL action is nearly in the books. All that's left is the stupid Cowboys playing the stupid Chargers on stupid Monday Night Football. But wanted to run through and recap what's been going on. So the first game, actually, start with Thursday night. So, I mean, the Broncos and the Chiefs. So wiping out that one interception at the end sort of changed things. Just another poor call. But the Chiefs, the Chiefs were just begging to be beat by the Vikings last Sunday, but is what it is. But Kelsey, 9 for $124. Pacheco ran for 62 yards. And overall, the Broncos are bad. The Broncos are just straight up ass, and Russ has regressed. Honestly, Russ was a Hall of Famer with the Seahawks. End of story. But, these last couple years of the Broncos, honestly, is he playing himself out of the Hall of Fame? It's not the case. Who knows? But the Chiefs improved to 5-1 allegedly, but it's just so tough, man. Also, freaking Taylor Swift, she goes every single game except for the Vikings game. So weird how that works out, man. But anyways, the Broncos probably going to be in the running for a minimum top 3 pick, and the Chiefs. The Chiefs are flawed. The Chiefs should be going all in for receiving help. I don't know why they didn't sign DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know why they weren't in on say Elijah Moore. I don't know why they weren't in on whoever. So I don't know why they didn't sign Thielen. We'll get to Thielen here in a sec, but Chiefs definitely need some help. A team that So we're in the midst of the Giants-Bills barn burner. I'm really glad that I bet the over. Great. But you got the Ravens and the Tennessee Titans and the last of the London games. And the Ravens, the Ravens got out to a huge lead. They're up 18-3, I believe. And then the Tennessee Titans came roaring back, and Derrick Henry put up 97 and a touchdown. Lamar is still getting settled into this offense. I love that Zay Flowers got himself a touchdown too. But I don't know, the Ravens and the Titans are in the same boat. They're tough physical teams, but you don't know which version is going to show up on a given day. All right, and the Ravens fresh off their sort of embarrassing loss on the road against the Steelers, but they get a win here over across the pond. Then the Commies, the Commies got absolutely obliterated by the Bears last Thursday, 40-20. But they go into Atlanta, and Atlanta was playing some decent ball. It looked like Desmond Ridder was going in the right direction. But the Commies were able to do just enough. And even though Drake London had himself a big game, Kyle Pitts actually caught a freaking touchdown. The fact that Desmond Ridder just gave away 3 interceptions, just no big deal, including one in the end zone. That's frustrating. That's really rough. And frankly, Atlanta probably should have won this game. But this is what's so weird about the league. Any team can beat any other team on a given day. And just because a team is good one week, that's no guarantee. It's really rough. Then you got the Vikings, 19-13 winners in Chicago, where it almost feels like it's not a win. But it certainly counts the same in the win column, and it was ugly, and the Vikings offense was sort of stagnant without Justin Jefferson, but the defense really stepped up, had multiple takeaways. Jordan Hicks had that scoop and score. Daniel Hunter had a couple of sacks, and even though it looked like Tyson Bagent, the rookie UDFA from Shepherd, was going to be the good Shepherd and take the Bears to a miraculous come-from-behind win, didn't happen. It didn't happen. No big deal. We're on to San Francisco. Going to shock the world. And I'm going to skip the Niners game where, man. So the sound that you heard was all of the survivor pools just going with the Niners, with the Eagles, maybe with the Bills too. We'll see. But, the Niners could sure just blame it on injuries. Trent Williams banged up his ankle, but came back. You lost McCaffrey. You lost Debo. But, the Browns defense really took it to Brock Purdy and company. And Brock Purdy, aside from that last drive, he looked flawed. He certainly did look flawed in this game. And P.J. Walker, he was no great shakes either. But Amari Cooper had that nice catch and run reception. And Cleveland, their defense. Cleveland's defense is top 5, and they took it to them. And the Browns, even without Deshaun and Nick Chubb's loss for the year, they still somehow, some way got it done. Shout out to Jerome Ford, by the way. 84 yards on the ground, which is great. And, the Niners and Purdy put them in position to win at the end. 41-yard field goal. Just also saw Jake Moody had his entire family at the game. The Niners kicker. Yeah, about that. But the Niners proved that they can get got. And if you put the Niners in a spot where Brock Purdy has to beat you, They're not going to do it. Like, Brock Purdy is a good quarterback in a fantastic situation. He's a solid distributor. He's not a guy who's going to go out and win a game for you. He's not. Then other Ohio games. So the Seahawks lost 17-13 in Cincinnati, and it's a spot where it was so weird, where Devin Witherspoon, who said hello with his pick six in a game a couple weeks ago against the Giants and won NFC Defensive Player of the Week, even though it should have been Harrison Smith. But I mean, the Seahawks erased Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase had 0 catches on 2 targets after he had 3 touchdowns the game before. So it's really amazing. And you're telling me, like, they completely shut down Jamar Chase, but they still did not get a win. And Cincy's defense, respect, really stepped up. Geno served up 2 meatballs interceptions. So I don't know. It was just a really weird, odd, tough game. But the Bengals come out on top, move to 3-3. Joe Burrow's calf is actually looking pretty good. Who knew? The Panthers, man. So Carolina got out to a 14-0 lead. And then you blink, and then all of a sudden Miami scores 35 unanswered. No big deal. But Carolina falls to 0-6, but it's sort of whatever. And I mean, Tyreek Hill is unstoppable. Mostert is unstoppable. Overall, this run game is unstoppable. Jalen Waddle scored a touchdown too. Tua is dealing. Tua is looking like a legit MVP candidate. And I mean, Miami. I mean, sure, they lost at Buffalo, which, road games in division, an opponent who knows you very well, are always a little bit tough. But Miami could be the team to beat in the AFC, just matching up their physicality. They got talent all over the place, and I love them. And Carolina, I mean, Adam Jerome, Ezekiel Thielen, he's getting wide receiver 1 work, respect. He got himself a little contract, yes. But, I mean, Carolina is a very flawed team. Very, very, very flawed. And I think that maybe they win 2 games this year. But also not having their own first-round pick, that it really hurts. It really hurts them. Also hurts, so the Colts going into Jacksonville, Duval, Gardner Minshew, not so much. Trevor Lawrence had himself a nice ball game. Travis Etienne, another 2 touchdowns, got the thing done. And, I mean, the Colts, this is one of those spots where, I mean, the Colts, you don't really know which team is going to show up. And I actually don't think that it's too much of a downgrade going to Minshew. Minshew Mania rising back up. And also reports are that they could be shutting down Anthony Richardson for the year, getting him some shoulder surgery on that AC joint. But yeah, they just really did not show up. Pittman had a nice fantasy game, but whatever. And Jacksonville's kind of spry. I feel like Jacksonville should shove all their chips in and go for a tier 1 edge rusher at the trade deadline. Now, it's not going to be Danielle Hunter because hopefully the Vikings keep him and extend him. But Jacksonville could be dangerous, man. There you go. The Saints go marching in and lose to the Texans. Face. Suck it long, suck it hard. Where it is a spot where everything should have gone bad against the Texans, but they did get it done. Stroud was serviceable. Nico Collins had himself a decent game. And the Saints, the Saints had all the numbers, whether it's Carr, Kamara, Olave went 7 for 96, but They simply could not get it done. And really respect what DeMeco Ryans has done, where the Texans are certainly a work in progress, but they do have some nice young studs. Love me some Stroud, love me some Will Anderson. And I love the way that DeMeco Ryans is super aggro on defense, and he inspires the team. Where you look at DeMeco Ryans, you look at Dan Campbell, and their players get fired up to play for him. Like, they're ready to run through a brick wall. Do you get that same vibe with Kevin O'Connell? I don't know. What I do know is that the Patriots season is kaput. So Kevin O'Connell's former team, the Patriots, are 1-5. And what's amazing is that they play such stupid football. And it's not a talent thing, where they're also very talent deficient. But this is a Bill Belichick team that is extremely undisciplined. They don't know what to do in situational football. And they're very, very stupid. And you could say that Tom Brady covered up a lot of stink with his team, sure. But defensively, they're always good. Situationally, they're always smart. And this is just a sloppy, bad, undisciplined football team. Again, it would be one thing if they had all their buttons, they're buttoned up, they had all their ducks in a row, and they just lost because they didn't have enough talent. They don't have enough talent, and they're bad, and they're sloppy. All right, but the Raiders get a win at home. Jimmy G went to the hospital with back issues. Also, so it's the Aiden O'Connell show again. Also, Max Crosby, like he tried to give the game away, but then he got it back because it was Raiders -2.5. So that safety at the end certainly helped. Certainly. Putting that 5 ball up in the fourth quarter. Let's go. Let's go, man. The Cardinals. So, juxtaposing the Patriots and the Cardinals. The Patriots are just bad and untalented. The Cardinals, they try hard, but are still untalented. Right. And the Rams serve at home 26-9. Cooper Kupp had a monster game, 7 for $148 and 1. Kieran Williams had 158 and a touchdown as well. And Arizona just doesn't have enough talent. They don't. And the Rams are getting kind of sporty at this point. Aaron Donald's still locked in. The roster did have a lot of turnover. Cooper Kupp is back and healthy. Stafford is healthy and is looking good. So I think it could be a spot where the Rams, become pretty dangerous in the next couple of weeks in the NFC. A team that's not dangerous anymore. So the Eagles 5-1, losing on the road against the Jets. And the Jets were down their top 2 corners. And Sauce sick from probably that sandwich that they made him at the bodega in that commercial. But Jalen Hurts threw 3 interceptions, and they were all bad. And it was a spot where, the Eagles, they had control in the second half, and all they had to do was go down the field and put up a crooked number or just run out the clock, and they couldn't do it. And the Jets, respect. Offensively, it wasn't any great shakes, but they got it done. And I love our guy, Rob Salah, and they're just dragging this thing along. The defense is literally carrying the offense. And also, could it be a spot where Rodgers comes back at the end of the season? I don't think it will happen medically with the Achilles surgery, but could you imagine? That'd be crazy, man. But the Eagles, we pointed this out week 2, when the Vikings could and should have beat the Eagles. This is a flawed team. This is not the same Eagles team as last year. They had a lot of turnover, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Losing Steichen and Gannon, losing that brain power does affect things. And, the Eagles are very fallible. They are. The team that's not fallible is stupid Lions. So, the Lions could be trouble. That defense is getting itself together with Aaron Glenn, as well as the offensively. They do have a bag of tricks, and Jamison Williams, didn't drop his touchdown deep shot, so that's good. And Jared Goff is playing extremely well, and you got to respect the game. And Amon-Ra is the second best receiver in the NFC North. I absolutely love and adore his game. The pride of UC. But also maybe the Bucs are ass. Who knows, man? But the Lions. It's going to be tough when the Vikings play 2 of the last 3 games against Detroit, but we can whip their ass. That's right, man. And wrapping up with the stupid-ass Sunday Night Football where, all right, so the Bills survive at home. They were playing very poopy, and it's almost like these teams conspired to beat me out of my 3-team teaser because I had bet the over because I'm stupid. Anyways, but the Giants come away with 9 points, and what's amazing is, so no Daniel Jones, no $40 million quarterback. Saquon is back and played pretty decent, 24 carries for 93 yards, and Ty God made a couple throws. They actually did okay, but game management at the end is sort of, before the half, how do you run it up the gut with no timeouts at the 1? The Giants had the ball at the Bills 1 at the end of both halves, and they came away with 0 goose egg D'Angelo Russell points. It's amazing, absolutely flabbergasting and amazing. But the Bills escape in this spot, and the Giants, I feel like the Giants are just straight up trolling the Vikings and making that playoff loss look as bad as possible, because the Giants are straight up cheeks. Yeah, they got Saquon back, which is great, and frankly, Tyrod may be an improvement over Daniel Jones at this point, but their offensive line is horrifically bad. Defensively, they can sort of get after it, but this offense is bad, man. Historically, biblically bad. And also, how does Diggs, no matter what the game, no matter how ugly it is, no matter how low scoring it is, he always gets 100 yards? He had 10 for a hundo. It's no big deal. Respect to Diggs, respect to Thielen, respect to Falcons won't play Cordero. Anyways, but that's it. That's a review of Week 6 NFL action so far. Tonight we have a treat of the Cowboys and the Chargers. Who wants at least? There you go. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Once more to work. Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.